And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin'. This is episode number 52, and of course, I'm joined by Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today? It's been a while. It's been what, 3 week, third week now.
Yeah,
Finally, we're back into it. We got to play the co-op stream today. We beat that, played some Valorant. I went neutral. That was pretty good. So, what's been up?
not much, man. Um, Obviously, for missing the last 2 weeks, we had the 4th of July weekend, so we had some cookouts to attend, and then followed up by the next weekend, we actually had a trip to Boston. I'm rocking some of the gear I got from going there. Got to witness probably the best experience I could at Fenway Park. Red Sox versus Yankees, extra innings, win off of a walk-off hit. I mean, it was just an incredible experience, and I can't wait to go back. Haven't really been playing too much games, like some here and there. Well, I've been hopping on Valorant when I got back from Boston, so I've been trying to get back in the groove of things with that. But before all those trips and vacations, I was started to play Batman Arkham Asylum for the first time, a game from I think from like '09, and I'm really understanding why this game got a 9 out of 10 from most media providers. So it's pretty cool to see that game actually shine bright on the Xbox because it gets the FPS boost, the auto HDR, so it looks really good for being an older game. But what's up with you,
Yeah,
man?
it. Uh, I've been playing a lot of games actually. I got Fire Emblem Three Hopes when that came out. Been playing that, so that's
Hmm.
a Warriors game. I've been playing. We beat Tiny Tina's. Played a
Yep.
bunch of Valorant. Got some of that in. I also have been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm almost done with that. So it's been a pretty interesting couple of weeks here actually. Also got back into Divinity Original Sin 2. That was fun. So.
So, what do you think of Jedi Fallen Order? Since I know this is your first time playing it.
I Other than a few small issues with it being, sometimes clunky with some of the mechanics,
Hmm.
I've been playing it on the hardest difficulty and, the timing is really precise. So
Yeah.
it's been actually challenging and fun to play on the hardest difficulty.
Hmm.
But sometimes I find myself like I've fallen through the floor before trying to grab ledges and stuff
Yeah.
like that. My character just like jumps the wrong way and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
annoying at best, especially with some of the save spots being so far back.
Yeah. It definitely makes it challenging.
The checkpointing is definitely difficult, but it's a good game nonetheless. I'd give it definitely an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I love that game, and I'm really looking forward to the sequel. But what I liked about it was like the Metroidvania kind of you notice areas that you can't get to yet, but you can get to later on once you unlock an ability. So that's pretty cool
Yep.
that you can go back and re-explore a certain area, but get to an area that you have not been to yet. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like that you've only got a few planets, like just a small selection of planets, and
Hmm.
honestly, they're the fact that it is Metroidvania, you go back to these planets and now you're doing all these crazy things that you like there's a whole nother zone that you
Yeah.
needed this one power to get to. So like it's awesome that you get to continue the story in a specific zone and you kind of hop back and forth between three planets in the middle of the game there. That was pretty
Hmm.
cool to me.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really looking, like I said, looking forward to the sequel. It's only up from there. But what other games did you say you were playing?
I played some Divinity Original
Right,
Sin
right.
2. I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which is a Warriors
Hmm.
game.
Are you done
I've
with
been playing.
Demon Souls?
No. So my friend has been unable to make it on Tuesdays for a little bit now, so we're
Hmm.
probably gonna push that stream to Wednesdays and do something else on Tuesdays instead.
Okay.
But he's in Puerto Rico right now, so it's kind of hard to
Okay.
play on
Right,
a
right.
couch co-op kind of play.
So obviously you mentioned the co-op stream. We beat Tiny Tina's today. Tell me about it. Tell, or at least tell the community about it. They may have missed it.
Yeah, so honestly, Tiny Tina's was a bundle of fun. I thought the story was a little cliche, but didn't mean it wasn't an enjoyable time. Didn't mean they didn't have a good storytelling
Hmm.
about what cliches they did. Like, I really enjoyed the fact that we fought the Nightmare
Yeah.
Princess what it was, sorry, Queen Butt Stallion her head got put onto a skeleton and we fought
Yeah.
that. I thought it was a little silly. I felt you and I were pretty overtuned by the point we were in the game. Like we just looked at bosses and I was like, well, they can't even do enough damage to like we one shot every boss we fought in that game.
More, yeah, and even that one time when we had that boss at like 3 bars, we're like, oh look, he has 3 bars, and he's dead. Like, it just had no chance. Like, I think, but like I kind of talked about it on stream was like the fact that I think the developers had in mind that not everybody was going to do all of the side content. So when you get,
Yeah.
get get to the end game, it would seem a little bit more challenging. But not us. We kind of did just about everything in the game. So by the
Everything
time
that
we got to the
existed.
end, it was just like steamroll.
Yeah, that the game was fun. It felt like it didn't feel like a normal Borderlands experience, which is actually good.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for normal Borderlands because normal Borderlands has that bullet sponge, has that sort of it just doesn't feel good to play it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to write this review up. It's at this point I'm looking at probably like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but y'all just have to wait and see for that. But the end game, man, that was actually a little bit on the surprising side. It has like more of like a endless mode where you can kind of like grind out, but like it doesn't seem too grindy. Like it seems fun. They had like perks that you could buy, kind of like Call of Duty Zombies. You can up the difficulty that next round by paying shards to make everybody elite, and they put them like a couple levels higher, which didn't really feel like they were elite, but because like we're OP right now, so it'll be kind of cool if I were to grind it out if we were going to play some of the DLC.
Yeah, and it's just sort of an endless mode. There's no actual story content or anything like that, but it was pretty interesting. Now, one of the things that happened while we were away was they released their third DLC already for the game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this game only came out, what, 4 months ago? And we're already three DLCs in. We've got, the Coiled Serpent. We've got, I forget the second DLC, but the third one just came out, which is Molten Mirrors, which is honestly, it's awesome that the game continues to be developed because it was a good game. And if you have the Battle Pass, it's worthwhile like to keep playing it, and the game probably adds more levels, things
Yeah.
like that, content that goes above and beyond, so you're not just slamming your head against the same easy bosses and easy mobs.
Right. Yeah. So maybe we can go back and check out some of the DLC, whether it's on or off stream. But we're definitely going to move on to our next co-op game that we'll announce at a later time. We haven't really decided on what we're going to play next or how we're going to handle our future streams in regards to that. But yeah, man, let's move on. Roger, what's releasing this week?
So we got quite a few things, but nothing that's really impactful except for maybe two games
Yeah,
that
two,
are
maybe three.
that I know. Yeah. So we got As Dusk Falls releases on July 19th. This is for Xbox Series X and S. This is Xbox One and PC.
Hmm.
This is, I believe, story-driven game. It's
Yeah.
more of a
Like visual
um
novel.
yeah, it's kind of like a visual novel. It's 1 to 8 players. You can play with your friends, but it's kind of a voting situation.
Yeah.
So the first person makes the entire story. They get to choose what happens, but the rest of the players in the group can at least vote on what options they want to see.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Next we've got Endling Extinction is Forever. This is just I believe this is a side-scrolling game. You play as an animal trying to stay alive. It's the last of your character, your I guess it's a fox mother, and
Hmm.
you're trying to keep your litter alive.
Yeah. Looks pretty cool. It has a cute art style.
Yeah, definitely looks quite nice. Definitely something I think my wife would play.
Hmm.
Next up, we've got Fallen Angel. This also comes out on July 19th, but this is actually a PC game that dates back to 2019, I believe. This was released on
Hmm.
Steam and Greenlight, and now is going to the Switch 2 years later, which is pretty interesting. It's fun to see these indie games make it big.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Into the Breach. This is actually another game, just like Fallen Angel. This comes out July 19th. This is a game that instead of going to the mobile console, decided to go to the mobile
Market.
phone.
Yeah.
It went to iOS and Android. This is a game where your choices matter. You kind of have a battlefield, and you aim your bot and you try to use your abilities to destroy stuff without killing off all the humans on the map as well. It's a mecha versus bug
Hmm.
kind of video game. Next, we've got the big hitter of the week. This also comes out on Tuesday, July 19th. This is for PS5, PS4, and PC. Stray.
Hmm.
Stray is the adventure of a cat in the post-apocalyptic world where man is gone.
Yep, and
So
it's
you
like a
play as a
cyberpunk
cat.
setting.
Yeah, exactly. It's mankind is gone. Robots rule the world. Not rule, I guess they've inherited the earth at this point.
Right.
And the cool thing is you play as a cat just exploring. You
Yeah.
know, it's a story-driven game and it's just a simple adventure.
And one thing, real
And
quick, with
then
Stray is
yeah,
Stray's coming to PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever, whichever tier, day one. So like this could be the start of their day one releases of their more exclusive titles. So definitely, if you have
exactly.
a PlayStation Plus um, Premium or whatever, just go download and check it out because I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, honestly, it makes me want to almost get PlayStation Plus because I could buy the game for MSRP or I could just get PlayStation Plus and play it
Right. And
day
beat it.
one.
Yeah, and beat it
And
in a month.
and if I get another just one other game, say for example God of War comes to PS Plus day one, you know, the new PlayStation service, then I've two games that I've wanted to play. Done.
Yeah,
It's paid for itself.
for
So
sure.
that's pretty cool, you know, to see a game like this come out. Next, we've got Bright Memory Infinite. Bright Memory Infinite is coming out. It's the final version of the game. So, Bright Memory is a game that's been around for a few years now. It's a
Hmm.
solo developed game. Gentleman has been making this game by himself for 3 years now, and the first release was a few years ago
Yeah,
in
2019.
2019, I believe you said.
Yep.
He is making the game for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Switch. It is a pretty much a first person shooter game.
Hmm.
It's been on the PC since November 11th of 2021 as a full release, but is now getting the console port, 6 months later.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. It looks beautiful. The gameplay looks intense and very fast paced. But the character models is where it kind of looks like it lacks at. But I'm not going to fault a game for just the character models. I want to see how it all plays in the story and stuff like that.
Definitely. Next up, we've got a game
Oh,
coming
and
out this
that's
week
and that's
called
coming to Game Pass, by the way, day one.
Yeah, that is day one Game Pass, so that's pretty cool. Next, we've got Koromon. Koromon is a Switch game. It is kind of like it's kind of like Pokemon, if you will. I believe there may be elements of having your own home and base building, but it's literally just a tactical turn-based fighting game. So it's literally Pokemon.
It
It
looks
is a
exactly like
Pokemon
Pokemon.
clone. Yeah. So it is coming to the Switch. It is releasing on July 21st. 21st. Now, this has been out for Steam and on mobile phones on Google Play for quite some time now. So, if you want to check that out before you get it for the Switch, you can actually get the demo on their
Nice.
website. And then the last thing we have here, which is one of the big hitters of the week, Live Alive is coming to
Switch.
the Switch on July 22nd. This is going to be a role-playing game. You play, I believe it's 6 or 8 different characters living through 6 or 8 different time periods, and you kind of follow their story through their given time period.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so
Definitely looks
so
pretty
out
interesting.
of the releases this week, I'm excited for As Dusk Falls, which is also coming to Game Pass day one. Stray, which is coming to PS5, their subscription day one, and then obviously Bright Memory Infinite coming to Game Pass day one. So those are the three main games I'm interested in. But I know that you're excited for Live Alive or Live Alive, whatever.
Live Alive. It's Live Alive, but I'm excited because it looks interesting, and my friend actually talked it up to me, and he seems pretty excited about it. He's getting it day one, so like he's willing to pre-order, and this is a friend who I don't believe very rarely pre-orders anything, so it hopefully will be a good game. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but it's kind of like a Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger style game.
Yeah, Switch is coming out
All
with a
right.
lot of good games lately, for sure.
Lately, they've always been coming out with good games. That's the crazy thing. The Switch has been one of the craziest consoles I think people slept on at first. Everyone
Oh
saw
yeah.
it and we were like, "Oh, it's gonna be bad. It's battery's gonna die. You're not gonna be able to play on it all the time." Yeah, battery life isn't the greatest thing, but it plays great, and
But you can
it's
also hook it up to the TV and play it that way. Like that's what
yeah,
faulted like the PSP or the Game Gear from back in the day. Like it was just a
yeah,
mobile device that could not be played on a big screen.
exactly. And it that's what the problem was, and we didn't have those issues with things like the GBA and the
Hmm.
Game Boy Color because you didn't need they lasted forever. They
Right.
lasted so freaking long. It was awesome, but
Right.
you know, I have no problem with it taking a little bit for, the Switch being able to only slightly stay awake for most of the day.
Right. But speaking about mobile devices, we're going to move on to our industry news and starting off here. Valve actually came out and announced they are going to be ramping up the production and shipping out the Steam Deck. So they're going to be, I think, doubling it is what their idea is, what they're trying to do. So anybody who has a pre-order out there, you could be getting yours soon. So stay tuned for that. But
Yeah, I actually gave up my pre-order.
oh yeah, I forgot you did place one and you decided not to get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it came in this week and they were like, "So your pre-order's up. Do you want to buy your $800 Steam Deck?" And I was like, "Nah,
Nah.
nah." Nope.
Right. You probably don't do enough traveling to use a mobile PC at this time.
Honestly, I play too much at home. That's honestly what it is.
Yeah. Moving on, we got Sony merging their consumer gear brand with their PlayStation 5 gear brand called Inline, I think is what it's called, and they introduced like three new headsets and two new monitors. The monitors kind of have like a PS5 look to them. The headsets look very similar to the Pulse headset that they already had. They have a wired version, wireless headsets. They got price ranges from like 99 to 299 on the headsets. The monitors a little pricey, $600 I think, or maybe eight. So it's definitely a little steep on that, but they definitely work really well with the PlayStation 5, and obviously if you have a PC, it'll work pretty good with that. But they also did announce a new loyalty program called PlayStation Stars. Basically, a knockoff of both Nintendo and Xbox's loyalty program. Like you earn points from doing like activities while playing the game, and then you can use those to turn around and buy gift cards or games or sweepstakes or whatever that case may be. So, cool. PlayStation got it. I'm not gonna knock them. Everybody gets the win.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. The loyalty program, I actually was interested I want to see what happens. Like,
Hmm.
because what if they have actual legit good rewards?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm excited to see because, like, the Nintendo system is just like you buy, we give you money back. That's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like,
Right.
is it really that great?
Yeah. Well, like I like the Xbox one because like you just complete like their like quests I think they're called, and like sometimes all you do is load up the Xbox Game Pass app on the phone, or you play a game from Game Pass, or you complete achievement in this game, or you do get 30 kills in this game, you get like these different quests that are rank that gives you different points. And I'm just playing the game, earning this stuff, not really trying for them. And next thing you know, I have enough points, and it just rolls into a $10 gift card almost every month. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
no, I
awesome.
agree. It definitely sounds awesome.
But some more Sony news. The Sony and Bungie acquisition finally went through. It is officially owned by Sony for $3.7 billion. For those who may have forgot the big price tag on them, so that's good. Actually, that moved pretty quick, lot quicker than I anticipated, because this did happen after the Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft. So we'll see how that one plays out too in the coming months. Nintendo, though. Speaking of studios, Nintendo actually bought a CG studio called Dynamo and rebrands it to Nintendo Partners. So they kind of deal with like animations and
Nintendo
stuff.
Pictures.
Yeah, Nintendo Pictures. They handle like animations, like cutscenes. It almost looks like maybe some animated TV shows, stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see what Nintendo's doing here with that. You have any ideas what they're trying to do here?
No, no idea at all, honestly, because they've been making, movies for a long time. Like,
Hmm.
we have the Pokemon movies.
Yeah,
They exist.
right.
Like,
And we got the
who
Mario
makes
movie coming
them?
out soon too.
Exactly. And that's not CGI.
Yeah.
Now, this is a CG, this is a computer generated graphics studio. So,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
maybe we might see some cooler graphics in games. Like, maybe we'll see actual TV shows based on things.
Yeah. For
Because
sure.
the last time we had TV shows, they were pretty bad. Nintendo gave that up in the 90s for a reason.
Latios, Latios moves. Right, it wasn't bad, but
Hey, Latios movies did slap. All right, straight up, that is a fact. Okay.
but moving along here, we got some news in the Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft kind of world. Starting off, Activision Blizzard, they bought a new studio, Proletariat, I think,
Yep.
and they're shutting down their game that they have running called
The only
Spellbreak. The
game,
only game,
the only game they have.
Spellbreak Battle Royale, is being shut down after this acquisition. This would blows my mind because like they're in the process of being acquired. Then they acquire another studio, and then they shut down the only game the studio has. So I I have no idea what the purpose of this.
Maybe they see potential in this new studio to make a battle royale in one of their universes.
Yeah, so
Maybe we'll get World of Warcraft, the battle royale.
that would be crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, but
That would be pretty insane, yes.
update here with the Microsoft Blizzard acquisition. It comes under scrutiny from a UK and the US after a potential worry of like monopoly because they would become probably the largest one in gaming revenue wise. So that's what they were worried about because they own the game. They would acquire games like WoW, Candy Crush, Call of Duty. It kind of makes sense, but I don't see this falling through at all. Everyone agrees that this should probably push on through without any issues. But got to take the right procedures and it makes sense. Got to investigate this, make sure.
Yeah, especially because Blizzard owns three of the largest games in the world.
Yeah.
Like the largest games: Call of Duty, the franchise, Candy Crush, and WoW.
Yeah.
This merger will put them on the same level as Tencent.
Hmm.
Like Microsoft will be bigger than Tencent, I believe, after they acquire Blizzard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big. And like Tencent, remember, isn't under the scrutiny of the West because it is an Eastern studio. It is, a company that the US doesn't really get much say over.
Right. Some more news out of the Microsoft world here. Microsoft actually has a partnership now with Netflix, allowing it to have like a ad-supported version of Netflix and like advertisements, being all done through Microsoft as opposed to say Google. So this is pretty cool. This one actually came out of left field. Like I wouldn't have thought them to partner with Microsoft of all ones. Like I feel like they are like a direct competitor now, especially because they got into the gaming market. So
Yeah,
kind of was
it's
interesting.
it's interesting because they're not using the ad platforms by Google. So, they're not using the ad platforms from Amazon.
Hmm.
They're doing their own thing,
Right.
and
And honestly, what I
we'll
see
see what
here,
happens.
because obviously people who have Game Pass usually gets like 30-day trials to like Disney Plus and Hulu and Paramount Plus. Recently, I'm pretty sure you'll probably get like a trial now to Netflix if you don't already have a Netflix account through your Game Pass subscription. So that'd be pretty cool.
No,
Um,
definitely.
Last up here, Microsoft and Bethesda. Interesting enough here, there were some modders that created a Fallout London game that looked really good and it just looked like a complete game that it sparked the attention from
But
Bethesda and they were like, "Ooh."
Bethesda actually called this a full DLC mod.
Yeah,
Like this is a mod that is on the level of a Bethesda DLC.
yeah. And the fact that this was so amazingly done that they offered these modders permanent jobs at Bethesda to work. I think we got here like one person declined and the other person I think is going to wait until the game fully is developed and produced before he
One
will accept.
person has already accepted. The second person is staying behind because he wants to see the mod finished. He
Yeah,
wants to finish his story.
yeah.
And then maybe he'll accept, he said.
Right. So that'll be pretty cool to see how that plays out because I think we need some new Fallout content, especially like some single player stuff, because we
Fallout
haven't had
has
one in a while.
gone so cold.
Yeah.
Honestly, it Fallout to me is like Skyrim, It Fallout 4, it felt fun for the first hour or two, and then I kind of was like, it doesn't feel like it's getting better.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's some good Fallout content, and it just doesn't feel that way lately. It just doesn't feel good.
Right. But moving on here to our gaming news, Roger, what's going on in the gaming realm?
All right, so we got a lot of stuff. So we've missed 3 weeks here. We've got game shows that came out. We've got big name releases. So let's start first. Multiverses. This is a game that people have been following for a while now.
Hmm.
Multiverses has opened up early access beta this week. That starts on 7/19 on Tuesday. Tuesday's a big day for gaming.
Yeah, it is.
But the open beta for everyone in the world to play starts on the 26th of next week.
Yeah,
So that's
just a
pretty
week
cool.
later.
If
Yeah.
you wanted to check out multiverse, now's your chance.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I got a bunch of guys over at Shoot to Win who actually are in touch with a bunch of the developers of this and have them in playing like private betas and stuff like that. And it looks really fun. Like whenever I see highlights and content from them, it looks like Smash, but just with the Warner Brothers stuff. And they have all the like voice acting that which Nickelodeon failed to do. And I think it's just all part of it. So it looks really
Forgot
cool.
Nickelodeon did their own game. I'm like, I keep like to me multiverses. I keep seeing multiverses in the Nintendo All Stars Smash or whatever it was.
Did a
I keep
Nickelodeon one?
seeing them as the same game because the Nickelodeon one was like, it was just like a speed bump in the road, dude.
Right. Yeah, they definitely got some great voice actors for multiverses. So definitely stay tuned. Check out the beta whenever it drops on the 26th. I do know. I think if you watch streamers who have the early access beta, they'll have drops enabled that will allow you to get a code to play early as well. So if you want to play earlier than the 26th, just check out some streams.
Yeah, no, definitely. And next year, we've got Return to the 80s going on. We got two games from old series, that predate a lot of us. RoboCop and Terminator are getting new games next year. We're going to see a Terminator game and a RoboCop game.
Yeah, and apparently they're like open world, like single player
Yeah.
games. So I'm just like, those were two very popular franchises. I love the Terminator movies, so I'm really curious to see how they can turn this into a game that's going to be enjoyable with today's
I hope
technology.
it's like classic Terminator too, not like the new Terminator. I hope it's like, the original feel.
Right, right.
Shit, get Arnold Schwarzenegger in that. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that'd be iconic. But what else
Right.
is going on in the '80s?
The 80s also has Aliens. So we're getting a new Aliens game in addition to the one that we saw on Gamescom this summer. We're actually going to be getting a new Aliens like first person horror game. It's going to be made in Unreal Engine 5. It's going to take place between Alien and Aliens, and it's also going to play like Aliens Isolation. Like this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
This is what we wanted. And we now have an announcement that it is coming.
I'm pumped because Isolation looked really good. I've never played it, but it's on my back catalog to play. And it's hyping me up. We all know what Unreal Engine 5 can do, and if you put an Alien game with that engine, I think you're going to have a really like very immersive experience.
Yeah. And then also this week we've got the Quarry. So the Quarry is getting its full release this week.
That would
which
be
is
dope, Spooky Crew, an open world Inspector Gadget game.
Inspector Gadget game.
It'd be like Batman then. At
Left
that
field,
point,
dude. But yeah, dude, like
it'd just be like a Batman game.
it would, go Gadget helicopter and just like fight me. Spider-Man has nothing on him. Next up, we've got The Quarry. As we said, that comes out this week with full online co-op. So the game has been single player for a little bit now, but the full release is this week. That's
Well,
also going to
You
include.
could play couch co-op, I think it was, and then now they're
Yes.
adding online co-op now.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, the full online co-op. So we also get in a mode called Ryan's Podcast, and we also are going to be getting ourselves a. Oh, you're looping back.
Huh?
I can hear myself through you.
Interesting.
But it's we're gonna be getting online co-op. We're gonna get in a mode called Ryan's Podcast, and we're also gonna be getting some DLC, paid DLC for cosmetics only, which is nice.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like the '80s is returning.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for some of these games. Like the RoboCop game sounds really cool, and so does it. Honestly, I'm excited for Terminator. The Terminator's always been one of those fun things.
Yeah. But
But
what
let's
else is
talk
going
about
on?
a game we don't need right now. Niantic, Pokemon Go developer, is making NBA All-World Pokemon Go. So you're going to go around and catch your favorite basketball players in the wild.
Well, apparently you
And-
can play one-on-one with them in like you're playing one-on-one basketball, but then like you can go around and collect like gear, like it's shoes and shirts and shorts and socks and headbands and sweatbands, and it's
And they
goofy.
give you Pokeballs and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have no idea why this is even a thing, but hey, they're trying to do something different. I mean, look at Pokemon Go. That was out of nowhere, very successful.
Honestly, NBA don't have shit. Like exactly, Disney. It sounds a bit silly.
I
Like
agree.
NBA don't have shit on Pokemon. Like Pokemon had those sweaty fans. Like
Yeah.
even people who weren't Pokemon fans
playing
were getting
Pokemon
into
Go.
it because it was normal. It was a normie thing to do all of a sudden. You like playing Pokemon wasn't like, oh, you play Pokemon, you're like 27. Yeah, fight me, okay? Like
We had world peace for 2 weeks. No, we didn't have world peace. Now it was, what team you on? Oh, your team Valor. Ooh.
yeah, the world instantly became geopolitical. There were three factions in the world. Like countries didn't matter anymore. It was pretty crazy. But talking about other mobile games here, dude, Diablo Immortal. So this has been out for a little bit here now. Yeah, blue team for life. All right, that's the only team that mattered. Diablo Immortal. We finally got some statistics, some actual hard math that some streamers and other people have done.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to take a character and pay to win from beginning of game to end of game to get there by paying for it, you can do it. It'll cost you $500,000.
This game is
How many
insane.
levels are there in this freaking mobile game? Like, for me to have to pay $500,000, how much does it cost for one level? How much
Right.
does it cost for a basic item? Like, this is the epitome of pay to win. This is, and they made like millions in the first week, and everyone around them is watching eagerly. I can guarantee you this is bad for the industry because streamers are like sitting there paying thousands, millions of dollars to play these games on stream to
I
show
don't.
people how much of a scam it is.
It makes
All
$1
Blizzard
million
is
a day. That's how much it makes.
$1 million a day is insane. That is insane amounts of money.
Right. And guess who? Like, guess who owns Diablo?
Ooh, Activision Blizzard.
Yeah. The
Uh,
game, it was a Diablo Immortal. It's a mobile iOS
it
Android
is.
version of the
Yeah.
of Diablo.
When a few years back, do you remember the do you guys not have phones meme that came out? That was when we were waiting for the Diablo 4 announcement. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago now. They were like, we're making a new mobile game, and everyone's like, wait, what? And they're
Yeah.
like, Diablo Immortal for your cell phone, and everyone's like, you fucked me. And they're like, do you not have phones? And everyone in the crowd was like,
Yeah, it's backfiring.
and somebody walked up and it was like, you suck. And the guy was like, do you not have phones? And we're like, yeah, we do. We're not going to play your garbage.
And
And
clearly it
so
is.
it just, it's people are playing it just to show how much of a meme it is, but it's still making them $1 million a day.
Right.
It just goes to show Chinese people have no taste in video games.
Oof.
Oof, big oof, I know. But like, that's the biggest market for mobile games. That's where mobile games make their money. And honestly, China is Blizzard's big daddy. Like, let's be honest here. If China says no, Activision Blizzard says yes, daddy.
Well, what else is going on over there in the East?
Tencent. All right, Tencent Studio Lightspeed. They're making a new game called Lightspeed.
No,
It is
no,
a
no. That's the
AAA
that's the
or, sorry,
studio name.
That's the studio, sorry. They're making a AAA open world game featuring characters from Jin Yong's Wuxia World. I apologize for my horrible brutalization of things, but Jin Yong is a
He-
modern Chinese novelist. He was born in the 1920s, and he wrote a bunch of books. And he was also a journalist and a bunch of other things, but he wrote some real big stories. And now Tencent is going to make a game based on his novels in Unreal Engine 5.
This almost reminds me of like how Tom Clancy worked out. Like Tom Clancy was a book writer and all that stuff, and they started turning his books into games, and then later movies and and TV shows.
Yeah, and I'm excited for some Wuxia too. That's just all that is just martial arts. I'm excited for an open world martial arts game. Let's be honest
In
here.
Unreal Engine 5, like we can't forget that. Like that's
gonna look pretty
it's
crisp.
gonna look really good.
Yeah, give me some floaty kung fu games. I'm in. I'm in easily, dude. Like I love bad kung fu movies. I love good kung fu movies. I love kung fu movies. Like you could add kung fu to the worst movie, and it would instantly be a 6 out of 10. Story could be horrible, but it'd still be a 6 out of 10 because kung fu is cool.
We'll go play Biomutant, and you'll really love it.
NBA 2K23 just announced their new their cover
Athletes.
athletes. We've got Michael Jordan, we've got Devin Booker, and Diana Taurasi,
Tarasi,
and
yep.
Sue Bird.
Yep. So the collector's edition, the most expensive edition, got Michael Jordan on it. Kind of makes sense because it's the year 2023. Devin Booker is on your standard edition, but then you can get like an alternative standard edition, and it's the WNBA edition. So that's pretty cool to see Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird on the cover. Two legends. Well, one legend and one legend in the making.
Yeah, definitely. And next we've got
This is
God,
pretty
sorry to
cool.
quick fire all of our topics here, but we've got Respawn Entertainment next. They're announcing a new single player experience inside the Apex Legends universe that'll tie into the Battle Royale.
Yeah, this is really exciting because technically Apex is in the Titanfall universe, and this is becoming like a meme and like a stab at fans almost because people want a Titanfall 3. Titanfall 2 was one of the best first person shooter campaigns like in recent years. So for the and then they shut down saying, "Hey, we're not making a Titanfall 3," and then they announced making an Apex Legends single player game. That's just a Titanfall game. That's basically what it is. Maybe with or without the Titans, it's still a Titanfall game. But really exciting, and it's coming like again from Respawn. They hardly miss. So I'm really eager to see how this game turns out.
Definitely, I'm in too. Next up, we added Bright Memory here, Infinite. We touched upon it already, but it's gonna come out this week. It is gonna be X and S, PS5, Switch, and it's also coming to Game Pass day one. So like, check it out, guys. This is a game made by one dude.
Yeah, we wanted to give it another highlight, another pass around because like this game, I think it's going to be a really good game.
Definitely, and like as I said, one guy made this whole AAA style looking game. Like it
Hmm.
looks really good.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Next up, EA. They're going to be killing off BioWare points, making old Mass Effect and Dragon Age DLC free.
That's cool. This came out of left field, and I was just like, all right, like sounds good. But like the Mass Effect stuff, like I already have all of the DLC because I have the Legendary Edition, so it's just like it's
But if you didn't, if
yeah.
you own the original games, you can actually go back and play your original copy that you own,
Hmm.
and also all the DLC for free now.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool for game preservation.
Next up, Xbox. We've got their stuff coming out. So Xbox kind of quiet these past 3 weeks. We've got Gamescom, so no new games will actually be showcased this summer for them at Gamescom. They're only going to update their announced games.
Hmm.
So
This
nothing
makes
really
sense.
major going to come on. If we miss Gamescom, you don't miss much. So it's just
Not
going to be more
necessarily.
hype.
Um,
I get what you're going for, but it's just more hype. You're
yeah.
just going to miss hype, not like big announcements, release dates, things like that.
Well, we might see some release dates. I think that's what they're alluding to. Like, we're actually going to get some solidified release dates. Because there was a lot of games that they announced at the showcase in June that are coming out within the next year that didn't even have a release date yet. So like
True.
now we can start getting some hardcore like all right, Redfall's coming out this date, Forza Motorsports this date, and then obviously Starfield to follow on this date. Obviously, there's a bunch of other games that they're working on that's releasing after that we could get like an idea or time frame of when those are coming out.
No,
Fable,
definitely.
in the next Forza Horizon game.
Yeah, we get maybe some actual gameplay trailers for some of these games to keep us involved because like honestly, there's games like Starfield. I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all I want. That's all I want. We know when it's coming out. We know what it is. We've seen all this stuff. We've seen gameplay.
Yeah.
But then there are some other games you forget Microsoft even has sometimes because we've got their big releases coming. Since Microsoft has so much.
Yeah, they announced so
Also,
much too. Like we talked about it last month. PlayStation
mhm,
didn't really announce anything that's coming out anytime soon. Xbox has a ton of stuff coming out soon, but got to when are these games coming out? What do they look like? What does the gameplay look like? Because we don't know what Avowed is. Like we know it's a fantasy RPG from Obsidian, but what's it look like? How does it play? Show us
yeah,
that.
no, exactly. And so moving on from Gamescom, which is a little bit away still. Xbox announced that they're doing a giveaway for a custom Thor Love and Thunder Xbox. So if you want an Xbox Series X for free, go and check out Microsoft. They're doing a giveaway for a Thor console. It
Yeah.
looks really cool. Check it
Yeah,
out.
it looks like Thor's
Next
hammer.
up,
Yeah, check them out on Twitter.
yeah,
I think that's where you'll have to check them out and follow their rules and stuff like that to enter the giveaway.
definitely.
But we definitely want to give it a
Next up,
showcase because the movie just came out. I went to see it. I know you went to see it. A couple people in
it's pretty
chat went to
good.
go see it. It was a fun movie.
Yeah. Next up, Halo.
Hmm.
We just found out how co-op's gonna work. So co-op is gonna have 1,000 foot restriction. So you can't get away 1,000 feet from your ally without either being teleported or tethered or some sort of effect that's going to make the game unfun.
Yeah, a lot of the
It's
fans that are playtesting the closed beta or like the private beta for this have kind of just groaned about it and was like, this isn't fun. Like, this is an open world Halo game. Why can't I go explore and do all this stuff? And I'm tethered. I can't go that far. Like
Why
a
can't I
thousand
just
feet.
shoot from this cliff up here?
Right.
Why do I have to
That
be down in the action with you?
that was another point. They said that there are some points on the map where it gives you a better sniper vantage point while the other person runs in and does the combat, and they can't do it because they're too far apart. And I was just like, they gotta either extend it, like make it more than 1,000, because like 1,000's not that much. Not in a big world like Halo. Halo
And
Infinite's
like it
map was pretty
doesn't
big.
matter if you're playing the story because you're in dungeon crawls essentially. But when you're in the open world, this is pretty mean. Like
Hmm.
1,000 feet isn't a lot in that game.
No. So they definitely got to fix that. Obviously, they got time to do it because we don't even know when co-op's coming out officially. It's supposed to be soon. Don't know when. This needs fixed.
Soon, TM.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got July games with gold. We've got Beasts of Maraville Island. We've got Relicta. Thrillville off the rails. I haven't seen that in years, dude.
Right.
Thrillville. I remember when I got my Xbox 360 and got that. And then we've got Torchlight, the original. But we also got some news about Game Pass or Games with Gold. Games with Gold will no longer include Xbox 360 games starting in October.
Yeah, that's big, honestly. I think it was time to move on from the 360. They have released, like, I think more than half of the 360's catalog for free for Games with Gold, so it only makes sense to kind of move on from those and give more of the Xbox One games. Give us four
No,
of those.
definitely. But let's hop over to the PlayStation world to talk about their PS Plus games. You get Crash 4,
Hmm.
Dark Pictures, Man of Medan, and Iraq Aractageddon.
Arcade again.
Arcadegeddon.
Yeah, it's a goofy game that we I think announced a couple weeks back that it recently released. But this is a solid free games to come out with. I know the Dark Pictures anthology I want to check them out eventually. And Man of Medan
Mhm.
looks really good. Crash 4 is a solid game. I mean, that's what PlayStation was known for. Honestly, was the Crash games. So kind of go hand in hand. But what's the big news from PlayStation, man?
God of War Ragnarok got a release date.
Finally.
It's awesome, dude. Like I lost my shit when I found
I'm just
out.
really
And it's
confused on
coming
like
out
on like
soon.
how they did it. Like they didn't have like no state of play, no PlayStation event. They kind of just like, hey,
They just
here,
tweeted. They were like, "Yo, guys,
here's a new
November
trailer.
9th, check us out. Here you go."
Here's a story trailer, and then at the end there's
The
the
fuck?
release date. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck, bro?" Yeah, November 9th, we're gonna see the new God of War this year, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I hope you guys are too.
that's pretty big, especially because Starfield was originally supposed to come out on November 11th, and no longer coming out in November. It's coming out next year. It took its
Starfield
spot.
didn't want to go up against it. That's
Yeah,
why.
God of
And
War was like,
God of War,
we're gonna plug it in right there where that game was going to release, and it's perfect window because October is stacked with game releases, and November is kind of like a open area right now.
and we want to kind of avoid releasing games at this point this year. You're gonna have God of War Ragnarok. God of War was Game of the Year when it came out, and so now we've got to. Do we want to go up against a steep competition again? Maybe we'll move our game to 2023.
Hmm.
You know, we had Elden Ring start the year. That's
Yeah.
huge. And From Software has already told us that their next game is ready. It's
Yeah.
done. They've built 2 games in the time it took them to build one typically.
Yeah.
And Elden Ring was great. So what
Yeah.
do they have in the works? Like what's waiting for us? And we also know they've also started a Warhammer game. So like
Yeah, they got a lot
we've
going
got
on over there.
we had a lot of big hitters this year already, and God of War is just that capstone, that nightcap for the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
going to
could
be
see
a
why
tough one.
games may have moved.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a tough game of the year, especially if God of War comes out and it does really well. It's gonna be between that and Elden Ring, honestly, because it's coming out early
Or
enough where it could be a part of this year's game of the year.
yeah, I don't think anything's going to really stack against those two so far.
No.
And anything that could have, anything with that kind of hype is already moved. Now we do have one game, but I don't think it's game of the year material, but it's definitely something. It's going to win an award.
Yeah.
So Nintendo announced that Bayonetta 3, we also got a release date for this, October 28th, 2022. And it comes with an anti-nudity feature. Yeah.
Shout out to my birthday, October 28th. Got two big games, Bayonetta 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Super pumped for that
Oh,
day.
we're gonna have Call of Duty, and I really honestly Dick is wisey in the dark wearing a
Oh,
hat.
you want me to turn the light on? You want me to turn the light on? You want to make me extra pasty? That's fine.
All right, there he goes, pasty boy.
Pasty
All
Vic
right,
is here now.
now in addition to Bayonetta 3, we also got some interesting news for us here. The return of Pokemon Puzzle League. This is a classic N64 game that is being remastered or remade for the Switch with their collection for the Family Pass for the Switch when you get the extended edition with all the old games. That's awesome. You know, we're gonna get Pokemon Puzzle League. They're also gonna be modifying the game and adding online multiplayer, which is crazy. What could this mean for Nintendo games? Like I said it when we were talking earlier. What if we get Pokemon Stadium
Oh,
remade
don't do
with
that.
online multiplayer,
Don't
dude?
do
Like
that. Don't do that to
that's
me.
awesome, dude. You're like, yeah, I'm just saying, dude.
Roasting me in here in chat today. I feel ya. I feel ya. It's all good
And
though.
then, so to cap off the Nintendo, we also had Nintendo Direct. We
Yeah.
had a Nintendo, just a huge Nintendo Direct. 16 announcements, just some really heavy hitting games that
Yeah.
people are super hyped for. So first of all, I'm just gonna quick run through these, give you a quick synopsis, nothing major, but like we've got one Super Bomberman R2. This is a Super Bomberman game coming out. It's gonna be essentially a battle royale Bomberman. It's going to be you and your friends fighting against a bunch of other people. You're going to be building your own defenses, building your own base, and then you're going to be fighting, trying to blow up the enemy base while defending your base. It looks like an interesting game, honestly. But
Right.
we also have Mega Man Battle Network. Mega Man's coming back. The Legacy Collection. This is a remastered collection of all the Mega Man games for GBA and Game Boy Color. No, they didn't have any for color. It was only GBA.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna have them re-released. We're gonna have Pac-Man World Repack, which is the original Pac-Man World game, is gonna be re-released and it's gonna be remastered. We've got Blank or Blanc. Blanc is a black and white game where you play as, I believe, a deer, and you're going through. It's a sort of just story game. It's a very peaceful. I think it might even have two-player co-op where one person plays one animal and the other person plays the deer. But it's just sort of like that casual story. Next, we've got Return to Monkey Island. Return to Monkey Island is hitting the Switch. This is after what, 10 years since we've seen a Monkey Island game. It's returning now to the Switch.
Yep.
Then we've got a new Mario and Rabbids game. We've got the Spark of Hope, which now takes that sort of turn-based strategy game for Mario versus Rabbids or Mario and Rabbids, but makes it now where it's you don't have grids. The grid combat is gone and it's free play. So like if you can cheese out something, you can cheese it out. Return to the Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. This is just going to be what seems like a side-scrolling sort of. It's kind of a really basic game. I'm not sure what else to say about it. It's being made by Cygames, which makes things like Shadowverse, Grand Blue Fantasy, Dragalia Lost, and Princess Connect, which are.
Shout out to the kitten making an appearance in Roger's video.
He's not a kitten anymore. He's like 5. He's a cat, and he's an asshole.
He's a cat. Meow.
Meow. Next up, we've got Railgrade. Railgrade is it's an intricate railway network and power management simulator where you have to deliver resources to different industries. It's sort of like railway tycoon, I guess, or something like that. It's
Hmm.
it's a pretty interesting game, to be honest. That comes out later this year. Next, we've got RPG Time: The Legend of Wright. RPG Time is just a simple story about it's after school the classroom transforms into the world of The Legend of Wright, an RPG designed by young aspiring game maker Kenta. As you make your way through the game crafted by Kenta from drawings in cardboard and stationery, you'll see it's so much more than just an RPG. So it's just sort of a JRPG. Next, big one, big one. We finally saw new content for Sonic Frontiers. We saw the new
Boo.
zone in the game. It's called the Cyberspace. So in cyberspace, you go through and it's a classic Sonic experience. And I'm so distracted by
I
chat.
know.
Chat is roasting you so hard, dude. But yeah, we definitely are kind of shitting on Sonic Frontiers here. It doesn't look good, and
Yeah,
it's
don't.
supposed to come out this year.
I hope not. I hope they go back and rework that game.
Yeah, the game's not looking good. It's supposed to come out holiday season this year, and it's supposed to take the narratives to new height for Sonic.
Yeah.
There'll be skill trees and alternate universes, and it sounds like garbage. Next up, we've got Disney Dreamlight Valley. So, want to play Stardew Valley meets a Disney RPG? Now you can. This is Harvest Moon meets Disney. You go through and save the world from evil as the world of Dreamlight Valley has been overtaken.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool
And
actually, and it's coming to Game
yeah,
Pass I think day one.
yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I'm excited to see it because I know Disney was super excited for it. She's in
Hmm.
chat so hyped that you can already see
Yeah.
she's losing it right now.
I feel like we're living in like the Inception. Like I can see our podcast and in the podcast in the
Yeah, right.
podcast in the
Yeah,
podcast.
podcast in podcast. Next up, we've got Live Alive. So we saw the trailer for that. That comes out this week. And then we got also Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom. So Doraemon is a children's cartoon, something geared toward 5 and under Japanese children. But now we're getting a game for, just
Hmm.
everyone really, that's kind of like a Harvest Moon again. So we actually got 3 Harvest Moon clones coming out
Pretty
based
much.
on the direct announcement. So we've got that Disney Dreamlight, Doraemon, and we also have Harvest Ella. Harvest Ella is a Square Enix game. This is
Hmm.
coming out, and it's sort of it. You have 7 day cycle, and then on that, or a 4 season cycle, but instead of winter, the final season is the season of blood, and like the world turns into like a hardcore mode, and it's like the end times. And the
Hmm.
idea is you're supposed to spend the year trying to figure out how to stop the 4th season. So
Hmm.
it looks
Seems pretty cool.
interesting, but it is a Square Enix game, so 50-50, it's garbage. Next up, we've got Dragon Quest Treasures. Dragon Quest Treasures is going to be it it looked kind of like it's going to take some characters from Dragon Quest 11 and it's going to essentially put them into what looks like a Final Fantasy style adventure. You go around collecting monsters and then you battle with those monsters and those teams that you build. So it's sort of like Monster Rancher meets Dragon Quest
Interesting.
meets Pokemon meets, you know,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. And then last but not least, the collection for Persona. This is
Yeah.
Persona 3 Golden, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 battle the battle game, and I
Yeah.
might also include Persona 5 itself.
It's
So this is pretty big.
Persona 3 Portal, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royale.
Yes, so it's not the Persona
It's the
5
same
game,
games
but
that
it
they announced
is
for Xbox that are coming to Xbox. It's the exact same story.
exactly. But we got the collection coming now to the Switch as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we had a big week, big 3 weeks, I guess, for
Yeah.
Nintendo and PlayStation. We got a ton of announcements just out of nowhere. Like they were
Yeah.
like, "What's Gamescon? What's
Yeah.
Summer Games?" Like, fuck this shit. Let's just do our own thing. And they did. It worked out great. Like I was hyped through the whole direct announcement.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you kept going.
Next
You were
up,
blowing up
let's
the chat. You're like, oh, new trailer, new trailer,
new trailer, new trailer, new trailer. I just kept going,
I
dude.
didn't even have to watch the
Next
direct.
Yeah, you had everything right there. And then Laser posted the full itinerary for it too. And I was like, hey man, thanks. Now I know every game that was on there.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is the next thing we got to talk about here. Ubisoft, actually, we made this the capstone for our gaming news because something crazy happened this week. Go figure, Ubisoft scorns their fans. But before we talk about how Ubisoft is the fuck up of the gaming industry right now, let's talk about Skull and Bones, their new game coming out.
Yeah,
So we've heard about Skull and Bones for a while.
for a
For as
long
long
time.
as I remember hearing, yeah, for as long as we've been playing, freaking Microsoft's version, from Rare.
You talking about Sea of Thieves?
Thank you, Sea of Thieves. Since we've been playing Sea of Thieves, we've got Skull and Bones, but we never see anything for it. We finally hear more content about it.
Yeah.
And guess when they want to release? They finally decided to release the day before God of War Ragnarok. So they
Yeah.
get 1 day and then they're
That's it.
gone. Like, that is mind-bogglingly stupid, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
This completely blows my mind. Like this game was originally announced in 2017, and then it kind of just went MIA, and it was up for teetering. This game was basically developed because of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. It kind of took that Caribbean naval fighting pirate theme and kind of made it its own game. So that's basically what we're looking at here with Skull and Bones. But what's weird about the comparison between this and Sea of Thieves, in Sea of Thieves, you guys can hop on one boat, you and your friends, and you're trying to fix your ship, dump the water, and fight and stuff like that, where you can't do that in this game. You can each have your own boat, but you can't be on the same boat together. And then you can turn on or off PvP, so like that's a cool feature, so you don't have to worry about getting wrecked by like some tryhard in the game. So that's pretty cool. And then they do
Fun
have like
fact.
they have like hub worlds that you can like run around in. So then that's when you can like hang out with your friends like as a person. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the idea behind it is Skull and Bones is essentially World of Warship, but with pirate ships.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that comes out the day before Ragnarok, so it will go completely under the radar. Next up, like it's gonna go under the radar. Let's talk about something else instead. Division Roadmap has announced that there are gonna be 2 more seasons for this game. Like
Hmm.
Division 2 is gonna get 2 more seasons before we see any more big content from the Division world,
Oh
because
yeah.
we're supposed to be getting a new game that's sort of like, I guess, like
We
an end
know
all be
we
all,
don't
like
know
big
any
overarching
information.
thing maybe.
Yeah, we
You
don't
know,
know any information about it.
people are speculating but we're supposed to get a new Division game.
We,
When?
we got
We don't
two
know.
new ones because we got the mobile game that's coming out
Oh
too that
yeah, the
I just
Heartland.
yeah no that's the actual new game that's coming out, but it's Insurgent or Resurgent is the name of the
Mhm.
mobile game, and you had to sign up for like early access or whatever, so I did. So I'm just kind of waiting for the invite to be able to play the game, so I'll be able to give you guys a first hand idea on how that game plays out on mobile, because I like the Division.
Garbage.
I really love the Division. It just no one to play it with, lack of content, but then they waited forever to add the content, and I was already gone. So I really like the Division. Would love to play it. Hopefully, then the future is where it's at. Division 2 getting more
Definitely.
content, leading up to a new game and a mobile game could kind of work out.
Definitely. Next up, the last bit of gaming news we've got for these past 3 weeks.
This sucks.
Ubisoft. Ubisoft, where do we even begin with this red-headed stepchild? Like, they pulled the online from older games. Okay, fine. What does that imply? They're taking away multiplayer, right? Wrong. They're actually taking so much more.
A lot.
Let's look at some of these things. Anno 2077 or 2070. This is a simulation game from 2011. Multiplayer, linking accounts, and online features completely gone. Okay, makes sense. That's fine. But then we've got Assassin's Creed 2. They're taking the multiplayer, linking accounts, and online features. Okay. Assassin's Creed 3.
Same thing.
They're taking the multiplayer, linking accounts, online features, and the access to every DLC you ever bought. Now we've got that for Brotherhood. We've got that for Liberation. We've got that for Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Prince of Persia, Silent Hunter 5, Space Junkies. Like,
It just blows my
Space
mind.
Junkies is literally a game that was only online multiplayer. If you bought it,
Can't play it no more. And the thing
you
is,
can play it.
that one just came
You
out like
bought it
3 years
3
ago.
years ago. That was 2019 this game came out, and it is completely unplayable now. You bought a game 3 years ago, you can never play it again.
I'm just curious why they have to turn off all of this? Like, do they not have enough server space to have this? Like, you can't buy more server space. Like, I don't know. There's just so much
Yep,
cloud.
but
Like, look at Xbox. Xbox has like unlimited cloud power. Amazon, unlimited fucking cloud
we're
power.
still getting
Ubisoft,
games from 2005 from Microsoft. They're just like, take it, it's free. And we're like, we don't want this. And they're like,
right?
take it. And
Play
you're
it.
like, okay, cool, I guess.
Like,
Like,
if you still want to play Fusion Frenzy, go play fucking Fusion Frenzy.
but like over here, we've got Ubisoft, and they're just like, fuck you. You paid money. That money's gone. Like 3 years ago, you bought a game. Game's no longer a thing. You can't play it. I don't even know what Space Junkies is, but I'm mad on principle, okay? That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna make a game that's only multiplayer, it has to be free at this point. Like, because if you discontinue it, all my money's gone.
Yeah. It typical Ubisoft at this
Like,
point.
like if I paid for cosmetics and shit and you turn off the game, fine.
They're going to add all of
I,
this content back, but it's going to be in their Ubisoft Plus thing where you got to subscribe to get it back.
is that what you read, or is that your thought?
That's my thinking behind this.
Maybe,
That sounds like
maybe.
a
But this
typical
is,
Ubisoft move.
yeah, Ubisoft's like, hey, give us more money and now you get your shit back. It's like, but I already paid for it. Yeah, but fuck you. That's why. All right,
Yeah.
Vic. Let's round out our show here. Give us some gaming rumors, something to pep us up.
Yeah, this is some good news here. Honestly, all of the rumors here sound great. Starting off here with EA. EA is apparently working on a Marvel game, a new Marvel game. So hopefully EA doesn't butcher this partnership up like they did with Star Wars, and they come out with a really fun Marvel game. So we'll see how that turns out. Next up, we got Nintendo. They apparently the Metroid Prime Remastered collection is coming to Switch soon, and potentially releasing this holiday. So that'll be really curious to see how that plays out. And maybe we might see Metroid Prime 4's official release date soon.
Pull the rumors out of you and Mark Van.
Next up is Rockstar GTA 4 Remastered. Apparently was in the works, and honestly, I don't. This was not on the itinerary. Apparently, they have now officially canned GTA 4 remake and remaking Red Dead 1, and to put all of their resources into the next installments of GTA, which is probably 6 or whatever.
That we'll see in 2032, I
Right,
guess.
right. So
You know,
because they
like,
realized the unsuccessful of the remaster of GTA 1, 2, and 3
well,
or
that's the
whatever.
thing. Look at the remaster of 1, 2, and 3 versus a fan remake
Right, it's night and day.
mod.
Yeah,
Like
and
a team of developers did worse than one dude
right.
in his basement.
Next up is for Marvel Avengers, another head scratcher here because we all know that this is a dumpster that has been lit on fire and it just never goes out. Apparently, a streamer leaked on like when they were in a conversation with someone from Xbox that She-Hulk is coming to the game. Great. I mean, the new show or movie's coming out soon, so it kind of makes sense. But like, is anyone really still playing Marvel's Avengers? I hope not. But to end it out here with our rumors, this one's actually pretty exciting, especially given all of the content and crossovers that Fortnite has already done. But apparently, they're bringing Dragon Ball Z coming to the game soon. That makes sense to me. Why not? I mean, they got
Hey,
Rick and Marty. They got everything.
Goku forgot how to fight. Needs to use a fucking
Kind
assault rifle now.
yeah, you know, man.
Goku's
So,
running around Super Saiyan AK.
like that. Be honestly, think about it. Like that would be a dope ass skin. Every time you get a kill, like you go up one Super Saiyan or something like that. I don't know, man. That'd be dope. It doesn't
That'd be
change
dumb as
nothing in
shit. You're
gameplay,
going
but
halfway across the map. Your opponent's like, "Cool, great skin, bro." Ping, thanks.
so yeah. So I mean, that's all the rumors that we got this week. Some good ones here, honestly, across the board, except for Marvel's Avengers. Just throw that game in the garbage already. But I think it's time to close out this week's episode. Any last comments or remarks from you?
Hey guys, it's great to see you all again. You know, it's been a while, so hey, check us out, Valorant tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank all the viewers that showed up live, anybody who checks us out on YouTube. We do got an update. We are officially an affiliate, as you can see by the stream title. So I can't post this to YouTube right away. I do have to wait at least 24 hours to get this up on YouTube, so it'll be there hopefully by Tuesday. But yeah, like Roger said, Valorant stream back tomorrow at 5 o'clock, right? Or 6.
6.
Yeah, 6 o'clock. Sorry, I keep getting these times mixed up because we do so many different things at so many different times. So definitely check us out at 6 o'clock. Well, Roger, where can we find you at?
Hey, you can catch me at lunatic_oblivion on Twitch and on Twitter.
And of course, you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin underscore. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. If you want a game, hit me up on there. Facebook, Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, you want to come on the show, hit me up on there for sure. But we definitely want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.